Welcome back to the shop. In this video I'll be taking this Race CDI to the track, doing a back-to-back comparison against the stock CDI on the YZ125. Then I'll come back to the shop, break out an old crusty timing light, put it on the stator, and see if we can see what the differences are. What I feel at the track, do they match up with the differences that I see on the stator and the timing curve when I rev up the bike and bring it down to idle and rev it up. I'm going to watch the advancement and see what's the difference between this Race CDI and the stock CDI. A little bit of a spoiler, I have already hooked up the timing light just to see if this was actually different. I didn't really investigate too deeply in it, but it's clearly on both 1 and 2 maps, it's clearly a different curve. So, and one seems to be a little more advanced than the other one. I believe when I plug these 2 wires in, it gives me the more advanced timing curve, and when I disconnect them, it gives me the less advanced timing curve. But I didn't dig deep and compare it too much to stock yet. We'll do that after the test ride when I get back. A little history on this CDI. It was mailed to me by a good subscriber. He said it originally came with the GYTR kit. You can see it's made by JD Ignition, but when you buy a GYTR kit, you'll notice they come with V-Force reeds and stuff like that. They're not scared to use other brand equipment in them kits, obviously. So this was made by JD. It is a programmable CDI, so which means if you buy the kit from them or whatever, you can change the tune, which I assume that's what GYTR Yamaha originally did. They changed the tune to fit their bike exactly. But I heard that this was used on Alvin Ostund's bike and MXGPs over in Europe back when he was racing 125s, and that it was actually tuned for his bike. So this is going to be interesting. So yeah, without further delay, let's get to the track and try it out. Well, I ended up back at MX74 because Days City was not open for open practice today. They were doing some training. So let me go ahead and go out here and get a warm-up ride in with the stock CDI and get my butt dyno dialed in. And I'll come back in and I'll swap out for this one. So let's go get warmed up. Well, I'm putting on the race ignition on now. I'm going to start with the map 1. You can see the red box on there right now. Let's go check it out. Now I'm switching it over to map 2. Let's see how map 2 does with the red box. Alright, my brother tried out the CDI alongside with the stock CDI. He's not feeling good right now, so he doesn't want to be put on camera. But what he's got a cold. But what he said was that he preferred map 1 the best on this. That's with the wires disconnected. He didn't really like map 2 very much. He actually thought the stock map was better than map 2. But he said map 1 on that one is the best out of all of them. I asked him what he thought was better about it, and he says that once you're up in the top end and the power band seemed to have more throttle control and you can control the bike better up there. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm going to do a couple more rides, see if I can gather some more information myself and tell you what I think. Alright, after all day riding, I can tell you that this one on map 1 is clearly stronger than the stock ECU. They rev out, the top rev seems to be about the same. It's getting up to the revs. Up in the mid to the upper mid, that one just pulls hard, stays on the pipe. On the big track over here, it took me half a day to even start to really tell a difference. It wasn't until I took it over there to the smaller track, but it's sandier, more whooped out, more power robbing, and that's when these two separated themselves by a good deal. That's when this one clearly was better than that one. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but I'm going to take you for a ride real quick with the OEM one on, come back in, and then I'll swap to this one and take you on another ride on that track over there. So let's go do it.
Okay. I'll watch out for them. I'll be safe.
Now I'm back to testing the GYTR Race CDI Well, back home and in the shop, and I was going to pull off the stator cover, break out the timing light, compare the two ignitions. I started the bike up to warm it up, get it nice and warmed up so I can rev it out, and out of nowhere, it dies. So I'm thinking, well, it might be a dead spark plug or whatever. Put a new plug in, nope. The Race CDI took a dump on me. I can't believe that. I put the stock one back in, I had spark again. I put this one in, no spark. I've tried 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times going back and forth, no spark. I tried connecting the wires, disconnecting the wires, no spark. It just took a dump on me. That's a bummer. Here I was just about ready to tell you how cool the Race CDI was. It actually was pretty good. Once I took it onto the second track, the other smaller track where it was more power robbing, I could clearly see a difference between the two CDIs. What this one did is it felt like it pulled up into its highest RPMs stronger, and all the way down from like the mid lower and all the way up to the highest revs. Doesn't seem like it revved higher than the stock CDI, but it definitely got it up to its highest rev quicker, easier, with more power. And when I was hitting them sand whoops on that track, I don't know if you could hear it or not, but it seems like with the stock CDI I get more of a going to the sand whoops, where that one just kind of sung the same tune right through the whoop. So, man, that's a bummer, because I know these things aren't cheap, and now I've had a taste of a race ECU. And the thing is, I'm also a little hesitant too, because you read it, advertisements for these things, and they talk about how they have their own curve on it, and or you tell them what modifications you have, no custom ignition curve for you. But you never know. And then, of course, you can buy the software and tune it in yourself, and that's good. Now, I will say, I do believe these make more spark. I did notice that this thing had a stronger spark to it when you look at observe it at the spark plug. They advertise that they have a stronger spark, and I saw that for myself, and maybe that's why it says only use resistor type spark plugs, which I have been. And, so I'm definitely using a NGK resistor plug, so that's not why it blew. I don't know why it went out, but that's a bummer. But maybe, just maybe if you did have one of these with the same curve as the stock, but just more spark like this one produces, maybe even that can make the bike feel more powerful. I don't know. I don't know what to think yet. I'm still kind of bummed out from the CDI just taking a dump on me right in my hands at that. And it really sucks, because Jonas Monin mailed me this from, he mailed the CDI all the way from Europe. That's really cool. And Jonas was actually excited when I emailed him. I told him that I liked the CDI. He's excited that I liked it, and it was a gift, and I really appreciate it. It's a bummer it went out, but it's still, I really appreciate it, because I got to experience it. I got to try it out, and now I know for myself what a race CDI can feel like, because I've never had one before. And he's just like I am, and he geeks out on these dirt bikes, and from what I gather, his sons raced YZ125, and they're on the current model now. But hey, Jonas, I appreciate the CDI, and I just want to say I appreciate all you guys out there. I'm just a small YouTube channel. What do I have right now? 1,800 subscribers or something like that. When I first started putting these videos together, I didn't really expect it to get this level of traction. And but now I'm communicating with people all around the world, and situations like this where Jonas sent me a CDI. It's just the motocross community is a very tight knit one, and I'm just very I feel very blessed to be part of this community. The people in it are probably some of the best. I don't know how, if the sport makes us like that, or if the sport attracts people that are already like that. I haven't figured it out, but there's just something about this sport that you're going to find just some of the nicest and best people, and we're all in it together. We're all in it doing it together, and we're all even racing each other, and it's just I'm very blessed to be able to work on bikes for a living and then get to ride them on the weekend and have conversations with people like Jonas and people like you guys out there. And just want to say thanks, everyone. Yes, it's a bummer CDI went out, but at least I got to experience it, and I know what they feel like. And now if I get on the market and go looking for one, I have a general idea. I know what this bike can do now with one. I know how much performance increasement it brings, and it's definitely, like Jonas pointed out to me on this build, he said that they would complete my package. Like I pretty much had everything else covered. CDI would complete my package, and he's right. That's what it does, and it's an icing on the cake mod, much like what I mentioned about the V-Force 4 reed pedals when I did the review on them versus the stock. It's like an icing on the cake mod, but icing tastes good. We all know that. So, but then I find out this is dead, and I go on Facebook, and I'm getting text messages that the track that I filmed this review on, 74MX, officially closed. It will be no more. That's a bummer. What a day. First the race CDI goes out on me, and then my track closes down. It's right here on Facebook, officially closed. That sucks. Guess that's life, guys. Nothing lasts forever. Get it while you can and enjoy it while you got it. We need more tracks. That's 4 that's closed around here in the past 4 years. So if you're a praying man like I am, pray for more tracks in your area, in my area, around the world. Anyway, I appreciate all you guys watching this, and appreciate every one of my subscribers, and catch you guys later.